Okay, hello students. Good morning. How are you? I hope you all are doing very great. So just tell me that do you like the poems present in your English book? I think yes. So generally we get a lot of hidden information in the poem rather than the stories, isn't it? Absolutely right. So in today's class we are going to discuss about a beautiful poem present in your class 8 English book whose name is Jasmine, and the title of the poem is A Concrete Example. So basically we are going to discuss about the third stanza of this poem, and we are going to get a lot of information, a lot of hidden information present in this stanza, and how the humor is being kept in this stanza. So, do you know what is the difference between the concrete examples and the abstract examples? So, if you don't know about these things, I will make sure that you will get a lot of things from today's class. So, let's get started. Okay, so before going to the chapter, we will discuss about a few things related to this chapter. Okay, so basically, we will discuss about some concrete things and some abstract things. First of all, I want to tell you that the actual difference between the concrete things and abstract things, right? Okay, so basically, concrete things are those things which we can touch or we can just carry it up. Like, if I will give you some examples to you, like a pen, just tell me that can we hold a pen? Yes. A duster, a brick, a bicycle, and a blackboard. So these are some things which we can just hold, we can just throw them up, like we can do anything with them by just holding them up, right? But the abstract things, like the things which can be felt to us but we cannot touch them, like affection. A mother have some affection for her children, like this is a affection, the love between two peoples. The love can be felt but cannot be touched. Hatred, if I'll tell you that I hate a person, so can you just touch or can see the word hate? No, right? You just can feel the thing. Anger, tired, happy. So these are some emotion which can be felt by us, but we cannot touch them physically. So I think you just got the actual difference between the concrete things and the abstract things. Right, students? Let's get into the second slide. In the second slide, we have a warm up activity. So I have a picture for all of you, and you have to tell at least four names that you are seeing in this picture. Worksheet 1. Okay, so are you ready? Just recite with me each and every question. Answer the following question by choosing the most appropriate answer from the option. Mrs. Jones asked the author to see her dash. Okay, just tell me. Mrs. Jones asked the author to see her car? No. House? Definitely not. Garden? Yes. So, garden is the answer, right? The author and Mrs. Jones talked about dash. So, they are talking about which topic, students? Stones? No. Plants? No. Butterflies? No. Yes, it is flowers. They are talking about flowers. For how long did the author and Mrs. Jones talked? Yes, quarterly an hour. That means 15 minutes, right? Then we will move towards the next seat. Sure. Okay, I will tell one word and you have to tell the other four, right? So I can see that a man and a woman are working on a garden, right? Now it's your turn. Just think and tell four things that you could find out from this picture. Okay, so I think you just guessed it right. A lily pond. Next, what we saw in this picture, a lot of stones are there, right? Good. Then we just saw a lot of grass on the garden. At last, a quite few butterflies are hovering on the garden. So congratulations, so you just guessed it right. Next, go to another warm up activity. In this activity, I have some puzzle kind of things for all of you, right? Okay, so read the names of item you usually find in a garden and write their names against each picture given below. So I will assign you with some words and I will give you some picture of the words also. You just have to place them in their correct order, right, students? So, what are the words we have for now? We have garden horse, sapling, hedge, flower bed, flower pot, pebbles, rockery, fence, vine, and wheelbarrow. I think you just pronounced all the terms with me. Next, just go to the picture slide. So I have a picture, just think and gazed in 3 seconds. Okay, so 3, 2, 1. Correct, you just guessed it right. So this is a hedge. Now a thing will come up into your mind that, sir, what do you mean by hedge? Basically, the plants which are grown together very closely to each other are called as hedge. I think you just got it. Very good. Next, I have another picture for all of you. Then you just have to guess it in 3 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Yes, you just guessed it right. This is a wheelbarrow. Basically, wheelbarrow is a kind of cart-like thing which we used to carry heavy loads from one point to another. Right, students? Then we have another one. Just guessed in 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. I think the game is very interesting. Okay, so you just guessed it right. This is a sapling. Sapling means a tree that is not fully grown or a baby plant, right? Next. Okay, so I think this is a very easy task to all of you. Just guessed it. Okay, so you just guessed it right. This is a flower bed. That means ki a place or a particular area where we grew a lot of typically same flowers is called as a flower bed. Okay, next we have something that I think you might have seen in your garden, right? So yes, this is fence. Basically, we use this thing to protect the garden from outside obstacles. Next, we have a flower vase, right, in which we used to keep flower. Next, we have a lot of stones, and a lot of stone is called as pebbles, right? Next, we have some pipe-like structure. Yes, this is a garden hose. So basically, garden hose is a rubbery pipe which is used to water the plants in the garden, right? Next, we have something climber like plants. Yes, this is vine. I think you have saw in the grapevine yard. Basically, vine are those plants which have weak stems. Then at last we have a picture in which a lot of rocks were decorated in such a beautiful way. Yes, this is called as rockery. I think you just guessed it from its name. So thank you so much. You just guessed all the pictures very well and just move towards the next slide. Okay, so we are going to discuss about the third stanza of this chapter. I hope you just understood the first two previous stanzas in the poem. Okay, I have something for you. So I will recall all these things for you again. So the first stanza describes Mrs. Jones' garden, which is full of stones and features a crazy path, a lily pond, a rockery, and a sundial. Basically, sundial is a thing which is used to measure the time or to see the time with the help of the sun. Yes, this kind of method used in the previous past generations with a strange device that thinks is nice. So this is actually a beautiful thing. Aren't you thinking that keeping such type of historical things in your garden will make the value of the garden so high? Okay, so basically this is a picture of sundial and a beautiful garden that Mrs. Jones have. Then we just got in the second stanza that Mrs. Jones places tiny plants between the stones in this garden. The author thinks the plants are delicate and insignificant and wonders how she manages to plant them, joking that she must use a pin. So in the second stanza, when the poet see the plants are very tiny, very delicate. So he just think that Mrs. John would have planted them with the help of pin. Just think that how small the plants would be, right? So this is kind of humorous thing. Okay, so in the third stanza, we are going to discuss all these things very nicely. Okay, just recite the poem with me, students. My next door neighbor, Mrs. Johns, one asked me round to see her stones. We stood and talked about a flower for quite a quarter of an hour. Where is this lovely things? I cried. You are standing on it, she replied. Okay, so this is a very funny stanza, I think. My next door neighbors, Mrs. Jones, one asked me to see her stones, which means when Mrs. Jones invited the poet to look her garden, then the poet humorously telling that she has not a garden, like garden must have a lot of flowers in them, but Mrs. Jones all have is a lot of stones over there. So in a humorous way, he just told that she has not a garden, but she has a lot of stones placed over a place. That why she just called me to see her stones. Okay, then we stood and talked about a flower for quite a quarter of an hour. So we both stood at a place and talked about a flower. A quarter means 1/4 and an hour contains 60 minutes. So 1/4 of 60 minutes is 15 minutes. So they just talked about 15 minutes about a particular flower. At last, when the poet asked that, where is that lovely thing? Where is that flower we are talking about? Then Mrs. Zone funnily replied that you are standing on it. That means the flower is very small that you don't know that you are standing particularly on that flower. And don't worry, the flower is protected by stones, so it won't harm the flower. So Reginald Arkell is the poet of this beautiful poem, A Concrete Example. I think you just all got all of my points, got into the activity session. Are you ready, students? So I will tell you some new words and their meaning. So what do you mean by neighbor? Yes, a person who is living next to us, right? Then what is stones? A small piece of rock is called as stones. Okay, lovely things, that means the objects that are beautiful, like you all my students. Then we will dive into the worksheet one. Okay, so are you ready? Just recite with me each and every question. Answer the following question by choosing the most appropriate answer from the option. Mrs. Jones asked the author to see her dash. Okay, just tell me. Mrs. Jones asked the author to see her car? No. House? Definitely not. Garden? Yes. So garden is the answer, right? The author and Mrs. Jones talked about dash. So they are talking about which topic, students? Stones? No. Plants? No. Butterflies? No. Yes, it is flowers. They are talking about flowers. For how long did the author and Mrs. Jones talked? Yes, quarterly an hour. That means 15 minutes, right? Then we will move towards the next sheet. We have a column A and a column B. So we have to match the words present in the column A with the related word in column B by drawing lines. So first of all, I will ask you a question and you have to tell me the answer and I will join the lines. Are you ready? Stethoscope. Yes, the stethoscope is used in the hospitals, right? Then flower. Yes, the flower are used in the garden. Basically, we just plant the flowers in the garden, right? Then blackboard. So blackboard is used in the classrooms. All you know that. Tiger. So tiger lives in a forest. Books. So books are present in the library. So I think you just got all of my words to a correct and meaningful column, right? Worksheet 1. Okay, so are you ready? Just recite with me each and every question. Answer the following question by choosing the most appropriate answer from the option. Mrs. Jones asked the author to see her dash. Okay, just tell me. Mrs. Jones asked the author to see her car? No. House? Definitely not. Garden, yes. So, garden is the answer, right? The author and Mrs. Jones talked about dash. So, they are talking about which topic, students? Stones? No. Plants? No. Butterflies? No. Yes, it is flowers. They are talking about flowers. For how long did the author and Mrs. Jones talked? Yes, quarterly an hour. That means 15 minutes, right? Then we will move towards the next sheet. Move towards the summary of the stanza. So, as I have told you, the third stanza describes how Mrs. Jones inviting the author to see her stones while they stand talking about a flower for about 15 minutes. The author asks, "Where is that lovely thing?" only to be told by Mrs. Jones, "You are standing on it." So the humor lies in the author unknowingly standing on the thing they are talking about or they are admiring. I think you just got all of these things into your mind. Okay, so next I have an assessment sheet for all of you. You have to answer it one by one. Are you ready, students? Write down these answers of the following question. The first answer is, who was standing on the flower? Who was standing on the flower? Yes, the author was standing on the flower. What do they talk about for a quarter hour? So, they talk about a stone? No. A brick? No. A flower, right? So, a flower. Name three features mentioned in Mrs. Jones' garden. So, we have to name three features at least. First one is, I can see that all of you are answering a sundial. Yes, a crazy path, a lily pond, and a sundial. Right, students? Then, how does the author describe the plants? So, the author describes the plant using the words like tiny and delicate. Basically, delicate is a fragile things that can be broken down into pieces after a small force. Right? Then, we will move towards some grammatical portion. We have a word, right? So we have a verb. You all know that there are three form of verb: v1, v2 and v3. So usually v1 carries the present form, v2 carries the past form, and v3 carries the past participle form. So we have to answer the past and past participle form of the present form of the verb. We have a question like cry. So what is the past form of cry? Can you guess it? Yes, cried. And what is the past participle form of cry? Yes, also cried. So the correct sequence will be cry, cried, cried. Then we have reply. So what is the past and past participle form of reply? Replied, replied. Reply, replied, replied. So this is the actual form. Then we have stand. So what are the forms of it? Stand, stood, stood. Yes. Then we have a word drive. Okay, so this is quite difficult for you. So what will be the sequence, students? Yes, drive, drove, driven. I think you just got that. Swim. Okay, just tell with me. Swim, swam, swim. Yes, that is the order. Swim, swam, swim. Then come, came, come. Okay, so the v1 and v3 is same here, right? And the v2 will be changed as came. I think you just got all of the questions into your head. Next, just move towards the last part of this slide. That is your homework. So I will assign you with a homework. You have to write 10 lines about your dream garden. So when you are in class 8, right? You are in standard 8. So when you will be grow up and you will make your own house, then what are your thoughts about building a dream garden, and what are the things you want to put in your garden to decorate it? So if I have a garden, so I might decorate with this kind of things. Aren't you liked my garden? Yes, I think you liked it. Okay, so that's it for today's video. I hope you just liked the video, and thank you for watching the whole video. So see you in the next video. Till then, take care of yourself and bye bye. Keep smiling.
ଖୁସିରେ ଶିଖିବା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଅଧିକାର। ନମସ୍କାର। 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 ଖୁସିରେ ଶିଖିବା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ଅଧିକାର। ନମସ୍କାର।